Here is the massive, massive, massive news story of the day. I am so excited. Quarterback Russell Wilson has been traded from Seattle to Denver. So Denver got their quarterback, and it's just not the one we expected. He's still an elite quarterback. He's actually a few years younger. For months, it was believed, you could even argue years, it's been believed that the Denver Broncos would make a trade this offseason to go get Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Instead, they got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the new Denver Broncos quarterback. Russ is 33 years old. I am very excited for him to grab everybody's respect back. I think, no, back is a strong word. Maybe you never respected him. I think for the majority of Russell Wilson's career, he's been underappreciated. He got kind of buried up in the Northwest in Seattle. I'm from there, but if you're not from there, a lot of people aren't paying attention to Seattle and Portland and the Northwest. And he's also been on a really bad Seattle football team recently, and I think people forgot, either they forgot or they just never knew how truly incredible Russell Wilson is. I am so excited to see this guy on a great football team. The trade is not official until Wednesday, March 16th, my birthday. Happy birthday to me. That's when the new league year begins. Give me 1 second, I can clear my throat. Now, CBS reporter Alan Bell reported the trade details. Apparently, Seattle will get 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick. They also get 25-year-old quarterback Drew Lock. He's going into his 4th year in the NFL. He's probably better than drafting a quarterback in the mid to late first round. So, hey, if you're Seattle and you want a quarterback not named Russell Wilson, probably your best option. Seattle also gets defensive end Shelby Harris, and here's what I love, and I'm actually really sad we don't get to see, I am really sad we don't get to see this guy playing with Russ in Denver. Seattle will also get former first-round pick and young tight end Noah Fant, who I think is arguably the best player other than Russell Wilson in this trade. He's fantastic. He's a young star, and I just think he's a guy just waiting to have an explosion and play really well in his career. I'm really happy for Drew Lock, by the way. Drew Lock gets to play with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant. He gets a chance to be a starting quarterback again. That's pretty cool. And by the way, get a fair shake. I don't think Vic Fangio, the Denver Broncos head coach previously, ever really gave Drew Lock a fair shot. He didn't like him, had no desire to develop a young quarterback. And so Drew Lock gets to go somewhere where he might actually be given a real shot this time. And that's an exciting thought. Now, on top of getting Russell Wilson, apparently Denver is also going to get a 4th-round pick. It's a small, weird inclusion. I don't really know why. I'm like, well, okay then. And for Seattle, this is a massive haul because it's interesting. Pete Carroll, Seattle's head coach, at 70 years old, is the oldest head coach in the NFL, and he's about to rebuild his football team. So that's interesting. He's a year older than Bill Belichick. I mean, Bill Belichick, there's no end in sight, so there's no reason to believe Pete Carroll's going to retire anytime soon. He's 70 years old, but he's the youngest 70 you've ever seen. Like, he is spry. He's walking around, chewing his gum, giving motivational talks, and doing his thing. But Seattle was already by far the worst team in the NFC West. Now it's not even close. I mean, Seattle is at the very bottom, looking up at, the 49ers, the Rams, the Cardinals. They have the worst quarterback in the division. They have the worst roster in the division, and Seattle's just all about the future now. And if you're a Seahawks fan, it's going to be potentially a rough couple of years while you are rebuilding, but we'll see how things go. Now, I am so very excited to see Russell Wilson play in Denver. He's got a ton of great receivers. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler is going to get a top 10 defense in Denver. The offensive line is better than he ever had, or than he's had recently in Seattle. And this is the best team that Russ has been on since he destroyed Denver in a Super Bowl a while back. And for Broncos fans, it's kind of funny, this this narrative and this arc, because Russell Wilson goes from a reminder of a painful memory and a horrible loss to now he's a glimmer of hope for the future and maybe a great memory in winning a Super Bowl. So I don't know. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be awesome. Russ still has to waive his no trade clause. I'm sure he will. And look, the AFC West is now insane. That division, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, and now you've got Russell Wilson all playing quarterback in that division. And I feel kind of bad for Derek Carr and the Raiders. They just made the playoffs. Now they're starting at the bottom. I mean, the Raiders are at the bottom just looking up this massive mountain at, Kansas City, and the LA Chargers. Oh my gosh. Now Denver has Russell Wilson literally up on a mountain, like a mile high in the Denver area. So I think the Raiders are, it's tough for them. Their division just got even harder. And then Derek Carr himself, he'd be the best quarterback in a couple of divisions. I think in the AFC South, he'd be the best quarterback. I think in the NFC South, you'd consider Derek Carr the best quarterback. Maybe even in the NFC East, him or Dak Prescott are pretty close. But unfortunately for Derek Carr, he's going to get massively overshadowed in the AFC West by all the other quarterback talent they have. Now, we're going to get Patrick Mahomes against Russell Wilson 2 times a year, Mahomes against Justin Herbert 2 times a year, Russ versus Herbert 2 times a year. This is incredible. It's great for football. I cannot wait. These are 6 games that I think are going to be fantastic next year that I cannot wait to watch. I don't know who's going to win that division. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fun. Oh, man. It's a gift from God today that we get to see Russ go to a good football team, all kinds of excitement coming on, and it's great for football. So I'm curious, can Denver win a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson? That's why you make a trade like this, and you can argue that Russ is better than Matthew Stafford. And on top of that, it seems likely that Von Miller is going to sign again in Denver. So Von Miller got traded away from Denver briefly. He won a Super Bowl with the Rams last year. Looks like he's going to come back to Denver. He's got even more reason to now to play with Russell Wilson, and it's kind of a fun thought. Can Von Miller win a Super Bowl 2 years in a row? One with LA, then again with his old team, Denver. That'd be really fun. And what a weird little vacation or road trip, or what do you even call it, like a field trip for Von Miller to get briefly moved out of Denver, maybe come right back and go to a winning football team again. Good for him. And I hope Von Miller has a great end to his career. But I just cannot wait to see what becomes of the Denver Broncos. They've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a good quarterback, and it's been years in the making. They have Nathaniel Hackett at head coach, a lot of good talent there, a team ready to win, and an elite quarterback who can take them there. So I'm not saying the Denver Broncos are the Super Bowl favorite yet. I might say that in August. We'll see how I feel by then, but certainly this is a massive move, and I am very, very, very excited to see how things play out in Denver. My best friend, I've got 5 best friends. One of my best friends, Jose, just moved to Denver. And so I'm going to have to go visit him and try to go to a game or something. I don't know. That's a very cool thought. Good for Denver, good for their fans, and good for Russell Wilson.